Hey, so as promised, today in this episode we will be answering some questions. I will be answering the question you asked, I'll answer. So Q&A, yeah? And first of all, thank you very much for all subscriptions for Patronet. It's really, really helpful, guys. So I'm really, really delighted. And once again, thank you very much for all your support. If you know beautiful people, please share this channel, ask to subscribe. It really helps to build my content within this channel. And I won't be extending this speech too much because we have a couple of questions. Not all, because that won't be possible. This video would be like 3 or 4 hours long. And then today 16 questions that you asked me recently. I chose, unfortunately, only 16 because yeah, like 2 minutes for each question. It's gonna bring us to 32 minutes more or less. Okay, let's get started. First question: euro and how the prices will affect how euro will affect the prices in Bulgaria. Well, some of you apparently know that Bulgarian lev is strictly related and linked to euro. Yeah, so the prices won't be affected that much because the Bulgarian lev rate is all like since, I don't know, maybe several years strictly linked to a euro. So Bulgaria became quite expensive if it comes to food products and building materials. When I came here like 13 years ago, it was super cheap, like really cheap. This unfortunately changed. And to be honest with you, some prices, prices of some products, for example, in Greece, France, or Spain, where I travel from time to time, it's even lower than in Bulgaria. Yeah, I know it sounds unbelievable, but trust me, it is like this. Not everything, but there are many products that are cheaper in these countries, not in Bulgaria. In contrast, in Bulgaria, if you go to a restaurant or for the service, etc., then the prices are definitely lower. Okay, but now if you look on the entire picture of the products in European Union, like electronic and stuff like this, they more or less on the same level, you know. So yeah, we are in European Union, so that's the fact. Will these prices, will the euro affect the prices of the houses? I don't think so. You know, they already quite high, but no one is going to sell you, ruins for 30,000 euro. Come on, like, let's be realistic. You can sell it for like good price, but you have to keep in mind that a seller, like here in Bulgaria, even if the seller tells you, okay, I want 30,000 euro for that, all right, okay, but the house is just like to be fully renovated, okay, and first of all, most likely there will be like very, very little people interested to this house. Why? Because all you can see on the internet, on the advertisements and through the social media groups and so on, this is only, I would say, in my opinion, only 10% of that which you can find out there. Okay, so don't rely really on the prices on the internet you see, because this is different trend, you know, this is like psychological effect. So there are still houses for 9,000 euro with big land, especially on the northern part of Bulgaria. You can find them. There are plenty of them, and it won't change, because look, the seller, the owner, he will need to maintain this house. Usually people unfortunately don't have money and, what most important, time for it. Sometimes they inherited like houses from father, grandma, father, mother, etc. And these people, they live somewhere far away from that place, in big towns or something like that. They don't have a time to go a couple of times every year to look after the house. The house is disintegrating if you don't maintain it. Yeah. So the real value of this house each year will go down. It won't go up. It will go down. And eventually the house will become a ruin, will crash, and that's it. They won't sell it anymore. So there is always a way to negotiate and speak over and find nice place and nice place for nice price. Yeah. Okay, second question. Is it buying a house now the very last moment? I mean, just like, is it last moment to buy a house now? I don't think so. In relation to the first question, as I said, I don't think the impact will be that high. I know there is increased interest in Bulgaria recently, but you have to keep in mind that Bulgaria, not that Bulgaria that you are looking for. I mean, not offgrid Bulgaria. People are looking most likely for houses in the villages, like nice houses, or on the seaside, and etc., etc. So yes, there is increased interest in Bulgaria, but not in the places like we are looking for. So you shouldn't be afraid about that, and I don't think this will affect the prices that much. As I said, Bulgaria became expensive anyway, so the prices were growing up, even if Bulgaria didn't have euro yet. Yeah. So will it change something? I don't think so. In my opinion, probably not much, or we won't really be feeling it anyway. Right. Okay. Another question. I would like to drill a well, and how much it costs. Well, in my area, drilling a well doesn't make a sense, because I live in the mountains and there is water everywhere. As far as on the lower down part of Bulgaria, on the lower altitude, where it's just like a water regime, yeah, that's the proper word, then drilling a well makes sense. Here in the mountains you have like water all the time, and so it like doesn't make a sense to drill something here. And then yet I don't think in some of the remote areas a technique would be able to come here and drill it. There are rocks everywhere, so it could be apparently quite expensive and kind of pointless, I would say, because the water comes all the time from the mountains. So here in the mountains, you don't really need to scare about lack of the water. We have plenty of water even now, where it's just like when it's like super hot, and yeah, I don't have like a problem with water at all. Maybe the pressure is a bit lower, but still the water flows. Okay, let's jump to another question. Internet. Internet in Bulgaria, it's very good, I have to say. It's like really something that Bulgaria can be proud of. Internet has coverage in most of the areas. Of course, if the place is isolated by the mountains somehow, then the internet signal will be weaker. However, okay, I know that you don't count on the fiber optic internet. The internet you may have in this remote areas is only mobile internet. So I bought a router, and I get like the cheapest subscription for like for the telephone service, for the SIM card, yeah, for the mobile phone basically. And there are unlimited datas, and you just insert the SIM card into the router, and you use just like a mobile data. So they are unlimited. So yeah, so that's the way I connect to the internet, and you can find the cheap unlimited internet access, mobile data, yeah, with like quite good speed connection from 12 euro. I will say prices in euro, so it will be easier for you to understand. Around 12 euro at the moment, yeah. And you sign a contract for 2 years, and yeah, and you just like use unlimited data. Here I can't complain. I have like internet most of the time. It works without bigger interruptions, and yeah. So in most of these remote places, you can have only mobile internet, and so before you come, if you come at the place and you see the property and you would like to know if there is internet coverage, you just simply open up your phone and check how many bars it appears, there. If you have like coverage, like 3 or 4 bars, you're done. It's everything what you need. And you can't really count on 5G, okay? Maybe that's better even. 4G, LTE network, which is still very good, I guess from 40 megabytes up to 120 or maybe 200 megabytes, depend on the location, which is very good, and I think enough these days, to do certain things, on the internet, watch movies or, browsing and etc. So internet is like definitely is like a very good strong bond in Bulgaria. Right. Okay. Let's jump to another question. Electricity. Let me just okay. Electricity. So yeah, the electricity is most likely in every house you are going to find. Maybe the cables can be cut because, again, what I was saying in the first question, if a seller doesn't want to maintain the house, they just like, cancel the contract with the electric company, and so the electric company cut out the cables. But then you can connect yourself to the to the how you say, to the source. Yeah, you can connect yourself back to the net, whatever you call it, electric net, and it costs I don't know, I can't remember, to be honest, how much it costs to be connected back. Maybe like a 200 euro, maybe. Yeah, so it depends, if they need to put from scratch the cables or not, but and install like a new electric meter or something like this. Not sure, but it can be something about this. So electricity is basically everywhere. Not in the very, very forgotten remote places, but maybe there will be like somewhere like a power plant nearby. So yeah, it can be fixed, no problem at all. Plus, Bulgaria has many sunny days, so you can install solar panels. But my advice for you is, don't go into any contract or something like this with an electric company that you're going to sell the electricity to them in case you have too much or something like this. My advice, don't do it. Don't try to have anything to do with these companies at all. Just like install your off-grid. Don't ask for permission, but I didn't say that. Just if you are in a remote place, just do it. Just do it and enjoy free electricity. That's it. Simple like that. Apparently, no one will ever care about something like this. So just install your own electricity, panels or something like this, solar panels. Don't do anything else to have something to do with these companies. Better not. That's my advice. Something to add. I mean, your electricity usage, apparently won't be that high. For me, it's only like laptops, telephones, lampos, like some devices that I use in my workshop, and the water heater, to heat the water, you know what I mean. So so my usage of electricity is very, very low. Daily consumption is very low. I don't know how, but trust me, you don't need much living off grid. Really, it's not like when you live in the big, towns. Question number 6: water. I'm losing my voice. Sorry. So as I said, like in my region where I live, in the mountains, you will have access to water most of the time, without interruption, because the water constantly goes from the mountains. So so there are no like in the towns water pumps. Everything works because of gravity. So in most of these places you won't have there is no any a water pumps that once the electricity stops, so you have no water. No, so everything goes down from the mountains. So that's a very good point, because in case if you live in the big city, if we have blackout, the water is gone. You don't have a water because the water pump stops. Here it's not the case. So the water is basically everywhere. If you don't have water inside the house, apparently you will have some water source nearby your house, and you could fix it for yourself. Just like that. And again, just do it, and water is signed into our constitution as a right, so no one can tell you everything. But just do it. Okay, another question. My region and the closest town I live to. Okay, I live in Smolian area, so the biggest town close to my village is Smolian. It's the place where you can fix most of the bureaucracy things, and if you are looking for very big markets. However, there are closer villages. So Smolian is just about 35-40 kilometers from me, from my place. But there are closer towns around 12 kilometers, 15 kilometers, where you can get most of the stocks. If you need some special food, there are not pizzas or something like that. It's a little village, but you have a couple of shops with food. You have some insurance company. You have a petrol station. you have like shops that offers you building materials, shops written by wood, and some different kind of little markets. But it's not like a bigger town in the sense like all big towns with like public transport, let's say. So yeah, so that's my place. Yeah, I think that's the answer to the question. Another question, number 8, is like, what is my plentiful crop this year? I don't know yet, to be honest with you, because it's too early to say. As we are living on the southern part of Bulgaria, and we are like in the mountain area, the vegetation season starts a bit later here, because it starts around about end of the April, so it will end about end of the September, beginning of October, something like this. So still can't say, but in this area you can always count on huge amount of potatoes, squashes, yeah, what else? Bean, which is like this region is very known from bean. It's like called Smilianski bob, and it's like Smilianski bean, and it's like one of the most popular in entire Bulgaria. Very tasty, very nice. So this land gives you like plenty of very nice bean, and then you can grow basically most of the things here. However, you have very like a short vegetation period, yeah, so you need to be very strict, because if you miss it, then you may not have very good harvesting. So yeah, it's always like around 21st of April, beginning of May. That's the latest date where you start planting your stuff. It's growing pretty fast, so it has enough of time to grow. However, as I said, you won't be able to grow everything here because it's a very specific region. So you won't have watermelons, you won't have that many different kind of pepper, and many different exotic fruits, yeah, and vegetables that you could grow in the lower part of Bulgaria, where you basically can grow everything. But the problem there is again, water, because there could be a bit more difficult to have water all the time. But something for something, yeah. So yeah. So in this place, most likely you will have always plenty of potatoes and bean. This is like what people do here. And corn, for example, if you like corn. Tomatoes, okay, but you will need in most of the cases greenhouse. Not necessarily, because I've seen like down in the village, which is just like maybe 200 meters below, they do plant tomatoes and cucumbers outside. In my place, I didn't really try it. I tried it once last year, but it wasn't really like productive, if I may put it in this way. So yeah, but like carrots, beetroots, yeah, plenty of stuff. I even plant a bamboo, but it's just like for decoration, and it grows very, very slow, because it's in this area it's like a different climate. So it grows, but grows like nowhere else. Like some people grow bamboo, in gardens somewhere in the lower part in Bulgaria, and it's basically like spread out everywhere. Here is not the case. It won't, because the climate will regulate it, so it grows super, super slow. Yeah, so that's it for question number 8, and we are going to question number 9: companies that rent excavators. There are. I personally didn't have a need to use excavator, but here in this area, in my area, there are people that they have their own, trucks and devices. So get just like make friends, and they will come and they will help you out with that, or you can rent it yourself if you wish. Yeah, there is a technique. There are people, because in these mountain areas, trust me, there must be at least like a couple of people having like a heavy trucks or heavy machinery these days, because it would be super difficult to live here for them. So they have their own businesses, they do certain things here around the area. So yeah, uh, you definitely gonna find something in the area. So I wouldn't worry about that. Question number 10: crushing plants. Well, in this area, in the mountains, you have like stones and rocks everywhere, and there are plenty of places where you can order, mm, like a little stones or something like this, or flat stones or decoration stones. No problem at all. The problem might be only sometimes with the accessibility, because the infrastructure doesn't allow you to get there. However, you can definitely find a person with like a huge truck that is suitable for going off-road and very difficult terrain. Of course, it will cost, but if they can get here up there and start cutting the forest, unfortunately, with the heavy machinery. So I believe that it's only a question of money, and they can do it for you, or you can do it yourself, and just like get there with the truck. Yeah, that's it. What tips do you have for surviving coldest period? I mean, winter here. Yeah, I mean, in Bulgaria, in general, the winters are not that really, heavy like on the northern part of Europe. There can be, but they are quite short. Like the winter time is pretty short. In my area, can be like kind of heavy for a period, but it's not the case. It's not something regular. This year, even in April, maybe you have seen one of my previous video. The winter was knocking to the door even in April, but it was just like a heavy snow for 2 days, and like 3 days later, everything melted down. So, yeah, I mean. Short winters, like there are areas in the Bulgaria where there is no winter at all, I would say. Like if you don't like cold or something like this, and if you are looking um, for mm, planting your plants earlier on in the year, then you can go to central part of Bulgaria or northern part of Bulgaria. And you can start, looking after the plants pretty early. Unlike you can start there even in February, I guess. While in my place it's only like April, yeah. So or end of April. So it's like big difference, because there you have like still 2 months. You are 2 months ahead, so that's a lot. And what? Okay. The thing is that here in this area, you don't need to really care. Be afraid about the cold that much, because these houses here in this area, they weren't built like to the modern standards, if you know what I mean. I mean, people had the knowledge how to build the houses. So like my house, from the northern part, the wall is like 50 centimeters wide. I mean, just like, and so it's wide 50 centimeters, like stones, clay, and straw. From the southern part, however, it's just like a tiny wall. It's very smart because here is a lot of sun anyway, so the southern part is, absorbing the heat, and it at night it gives you back to the house. However, from the northern part, it isolates you from the cold wind and something like this. So they were building very smart, and every house has like a stove. If you don't have one there, you can get one. And if you have a stove, once you started regularly warming up, all heat is absorbed by the stones, and then it reflects it back. So like I have like little stove in my house, and it's really enough for entire house. You just open all the doors, and if you just like warm up a bit in it, the temperature is between 19 and 24 degrees. So you have to be even careful not to heat too much, because I had the days sometimes at the beginning when I thought, okay, I will be cold or something like this, and I overheated, and it was like 28 or 9 inside, because I thought that, oh, such a house, oh my god, I will freeze here. No, it's just like, and even my windows, they are very old, like in my living room, they are like with only one glass in it, and I just like, come on, the all heat will escape, from this window. No, it's nothing like this. It's just like the house regulates the temperature in a really good way. But it was really, trust me, it was too hot. It was in the winter, it was too hot. I had to really started learning how to properly heat in the stoves, how to regulate the temperature, because it was really hot, in the entire house. So yeah, so you don't need to worry about that. Just get some good amount of wood, and you're fine. You just set up for the winter. So that's it, and just like get some jars with food in case you are blocked through the winter, so not to die from hunger. If you have like potatoes or bean, you'll find, and salt, and the water you can just like take from outside. I mean, like, or from the snow, you can melt the snow. You have stove, you have everything what you need. If you're gonna have some power bank or something like this, or then it's really, you don't need that much to survive. Trust me. Everyone who start living over it after some times started seeing this big difference and these dependencies that we have from the modern world. It's just unbelievable on how many things we depend, like how many dependencies we have, and the biggest problem for us is just like to cut out these dependencies. That's really hardest part, to get used to. And that really hard part, to change something in your life, is little modern world dependencies. But once you're done with that, trust me, you're fine. It shows you like how little things we need to just have a happy life, and just like survive. Like really, like we really need like such good minimum to survive. Yeah, it's everyone will learn it on its own life. Everyone will take a lesson from its own experience, I believe. Right, okay, because I talk too much sometimes. What was the flour I used for washing? It was in my previous video. Okay, I don't know what is the proper name, what's the proper English name for this flour, but in the past, in the Eastern Europe, at least in Eastern Europe I know, but I believe it was just in the other parts of Europe too, there is this flower that people were planting in front of their houses. So this flower can be used for washing, for cleaning, and for cleaning your body. It has really nice smell, and all you need to do is just collect the flower, take into the bottle, shake it, give it good shake for 15 minutes, and it's produce foam. And this foam you can use for everything. It has really nice smell, and it's wow, and it's like a nature. Yeah, so I'll try to put an English name if there is a one here, okay, and or here, and you can do your own research. But I found this plant down of my house, and I just didn't even know that it's there, because I was watching one YouTube video or something like this a couple of years ago, and then I just looked down and just oh, come on, it's it looks like that particular plant, yeah, and I just took it and just yeah, it's there. So I believe that people that lived here before, they just planted it there, on purpose, because I can't see this plant anywhere around. It's only one specific place in front of the house. So I believe it was planted purposely there. So yeah, it's just amazing, and it's forgotten. People used to use it a lot because we didn't have soaps or something like this. We had to use the nature, and but it's forgotten. It's just okay, I had to rewind it because I didn't notice that the microphone stopped working. So yeah, I need to charge it back. But there is no time, so finishing the number 12 question, flower. I will leave the description of that flower underneath the video, okay, and I will try to find a proper English name for that, if it exists, because I think it's only Latin one. So yeah. Question number 13, my help. Okay, because I received a lot of questions through social media, my email, about the help, and you want to pay me for my work, blah blah. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for valuing my time, but I have a passive income, and I just don't really have time to follow these things. I mean, every day professionally, just to sacrifice that much of my time. But what I can tell you is just I'm giving you all the hints, okay, and all information that is really important. You can check my previous videos where I explain from time to time, where you need to go, where to find, how to be careful, and etc. and etc. However, if you really would like to engage me with something, I can make a one step further, and we can arrange your stay in Bulgaria like for example, if you travel to Bulgaria, I don't know, by the plane or with your own transport, we can arrange maybe like transfer from the airport to some accommodation in the area where you will be looking for your house. Contact you with a broker, trusted person, of course, not like some, so we can arrange that, but you will need to contact me individually about that, and then we can specify the details, show you everything beforehand, and then, make like a, let's say, deal about that, okay? So there are a couple of steps. Everything can be arranged. We have quite good experience already based on that, so we can arrange certain things for you, and make sure that you will receive like a professional help. You will feel safe here. You will feel safe, and you will be in the hand on the right person. Okay, so just to make your stay in the best possible way. Okay, so contact me individually about that, and then we can specify the details. We can set the date and other details, and etc. So, but apart from that, check my videos. There are plenty of information I'm trying to give you for free, of course, and remember that the places that you can see, I will repeat it again, the places that you can see on the groups and on the internet is only like 10% of the market. The 90%, I would say, is out there, not described, not shown on the internet. So yeah, okay, that was all about my help, and we have 3 remaining questions. So, isn't Greece a better place? And that's a tricky question, but thank you very much for that. Personally, I love Greece. I love Greece because I have my reasons. But Bulgaria is still a very good choice. You can still find plenty of properties in Greece for good price, but I don't know how the regulations and rules work in Greece. I have absolutely no knowledge about this, so I can't tell. But I can tell that I love Greece, and this is why I live just like few steps away from Greece. So this is very good place for me to escape for the winter, because I can still enjoy good weather there, and while here is just like a gray, and snow and mud, in Greece is really nice, and and the lower temperature, but not as low as here, which is good, and it's like out of the season, so no tourists, which is like a perfect. The prices are, lower, so why not? And Greece would be a better choice if you like hot, if you want to grow more vegetables, and but for me, as a Slavic person, Bulgaria is like a closer by the culture, by the language, and everything. So I feel here better like at home, but I'm talking only about my experience, because I have no basically language barrier, because our languages are similar and our culture is very similar. So so it's like so my perspective is not like something that will be good for you. I mean, good for you, like something that will work exactly in the same way, like for you. Especially if you're from the Western Europe and you have nothing to do with the Slavic culture. But it's not a problem still, because people are very friendly here, and there are many foreign people living here. Bulgaria is becoming more popular, but not maybe in the off-grid terms, rather than to find like a house in Bulgaria to spend the rest of the life or something like this, because it's cheaper, it's more freedom, let's say, and it's relaxed and more sunny days and etc. So yes, Bulgaria is becoming trendy. However, don't mix it up with the off-grid living, because off-grid living is still like it has some it has some group of people that are interested in. It's not like on the large scale. So that's another thing. Like Bulgaria is good too. Greece is beautiful. They are totally different countries. However, Bulgaria and Greece, they because they are like neighbors. Okay, so they have similarities. There are similar things, and so they are similar, but like for me, the language barrier for that, it's like something, and then the heat. There is super hot, and on the Bulgarian side, you will have most likely the water all the time. In Greece, hard to tell. There is very dry, and you need to use lots of amount of water, and that could be more expensive, So there are pluses and minuses, but it's good to have for me Greece as a very close neighbor. Okay. Maybe one day when I get very old and I won't have a power to operate here, because come on, that's the thing, I don't know how long I will be able to be here on this altitude with no infrastructure and things like this, there will be time to come that apparently I won't have that much energy to do these things. Do you know what I mean? So maybe the Greece will be for me an option when I get older, like for my very, very old times. I don't know. We'll see. For me, it's important here and now, and nothing else. How European Union will influence Bulgaria? I think I answered it just in this Q&A. The regulation of European Union works differently in Bulgaria. Bulgaria's state of mind. So if you have like a law or regulation that comes from European Union and they are strictly applied in Western Europe, that is not necessarily a case in Eastern Europe. Okay, Eastern Europe is state of mind, and here most of the things works in totally different way than in the western part of the Europe. So maybe in the big towns and something like this, yes, you will feel them more, but not like in the remote places like here. It's for me, it's like kind of impossible, that someone will come here and check how many animals you have or what you are growing in your greenhouse or something like this. Bulgarian citizens mostly they are very unhappy about things in Bulgaria, because they say that Bulgaria don't really care about their citizens, and they mean it really, and you can see it. Like Bulgaria doesn't really care too much. But because they don't care that much, they don't really check on you. Yeah, if you are in the town, it's different. Okay, in towns, big ghetto, it's always like things works in different way. Here, the things has its own path. So life has its own path. So really, like you don't really need to be afraid and scared about those. Basically, I would say in 99% into the dirty hands of the European Union regulation won't touch you here. So you feel safe, at least for the next several years. And taking in account that the demography is growing, yeah, in terms like of, you know, tendency is like there is the regress, you know, less people is born and lots of people are leaving Bulgaria. So these places, they will become very wild, like very remote. So the more no one is going to care about them, you know, they will be forgotten soon. So so you shouldn't really be afraid and scared about this. At least myself, at the moment, there is nothing me to be scared, about. Like, no, I can't tell that that could be an issue. And we reached the last question for today. I think this video is very long right now, but okay, if you're still with me, that's a good sign. Voluntaries. I'm not really doing it at the moment. However, I had a guy from Israel last year for a couple of days. He was helping me here. But still, I don't really have like a kind of circumstances here, you know. I mean, I do have some kind of, I know the guys that you don't need much because it's like a kind of survival here, you know. But I just want to finish the shower, which I haven't finished yet, and start renovating the other house I bought. So then I will have a bit more space for people, and I believe that next year we can gather like 10, 12 people. We can get to know each other. We can have a nice time together, learning things from each other. You know, spending time spending really nice time, you know, walk around, travel somewhere, do things from the clay straw, from the stone. Just enjoy the time and share experience, you know, and so hopefully, fingers crossed, next year I will be able to organize such a meeting here in Rhodope Mountains at my place. And honestly, I can't wait for that because I feel inside that would be a fantastic event, you know, to get together, you know, and do things, and really like, I'm looking forward for that. So I need to put my things together, put myself together and finish it. Don't worry, there will be things to help me too. And I can finish these 2 bedrooms. So then buy a tent, like a bigger tent. So I guess maybe 10, 12 even people we can gather together and like you know, speak about the date and the period and spend like a week, maybe 2, maybe a couple of days, wherever you want. And and I believe that it will be very productive time for everybody. You can see the area, you can learn something from me, I can learn something from you. Can't wait for this, to be honest, you know. So this year, I'm not really ready for that. However, if you would like to come and you really want to come, okay, you know, just like, you know, ping me. But you need to keep in mind that sometimes I travel, you know, and there were a couple of people wanted to see me this year, and I feel very bad about this because it looked like I want to avoid them, but it wasn't really a case because, you know, I was traveling to Greece. I was just like away for a couple of days, and that was exactly at that time when someone from you was was in the area, and I wasn't here. So yeah, I feel very bad about this, and I'm really sorry. But yeah, but that happens. But if we can like plan something maybe a bit ahead, and if something unexpected won't come up for me, so I'm sure I will be here. But this year was just like several unexpected things happen in my life, and I couldn't be here exactly at that time. I had to travel, and yeah. So thank you very much for staying with me till the end. I hope that this video again answered some of your questions. We will try to make another Q&A, I don't know, maybe in next 2-3 months or something like this, maybe earlier, maybe later. We'll see how many new subscribers will join to the channel, how many new questions will appear or something like this. But I'm really happy that you are with me, and I feel that we are creating some really nice community, and I'm really happy that there are out there so many beautiful, still so many beautiful and open people. So yeah, I'm feeling more positive for the coming things. It gives me a lot of energy. So yeah, thank you very much. See you in the next episode. I don't know when, maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks, but the most important that you are there.